Picture this. You're alone in the dark, your heart pounding in your ears. The only sound your ragged breathing and the echo of distant screams. Then from the corner of your eye, the tiniest movement, a shadow shifting, just beyond your vision. What follows is not a jump scare, but something far worse, the slow dawning of unimaginable horrors. Today, we dive into the darkest depths of the internet's underbelly, the part shrouded in mystery and whispered rumors. Today we uncover a lost horror, one that some say should never have been found, but found it was, stumbled upon in the most unexpected of places. Let's start at the beginning, the origin story of our terror, a place where anonymity reigns supreme, a place where the unspeakable finds its home, the dark web. Now let's be honest, we all know the dark web isn't a literal rabbit hole. It's a term often misused, synonymous with the internet's criminal underbelly. In reality, it refers to the part of the web that isn't indexed by search engines, a realm of hidden services, private networks and forums existing on the dark side of the net. So how did we stumble upon this digital Pandora's box? It was a slow burn, a digital breadcrumb trail leading us through cryptic forum posts, anonymous tips and half-hidden messages, each clue intricately designed to lead us to the next, ensuring that what we found wasn't just discovered, it was earned, or perhaps more accurately, unearthed. Now let's move to the moment that changed everything, the unveiling of the first fragment. It wasn't much, just a fleeting glimpse of darkness, but within that abyss, a horror was hinted at, leaving us forever changed. To understand what follows, we must first accept the limitations of our perception. What we're about to see is presented in fragments, not because it was originally fragmented, but because our access to it is limited. Like peering through a fractured window, we catch glimpses of a larger picture, piecing together the bigger picture through disjointed moments. Here's the first glimpse. Remember, what you're about to see has been described as deeply unsettling. If you're easily disturbed, you may want to stop now. Fair warning given. Here is the first fragment. Well, that was unsettling, wasn't it? We told you the first glimpse would be powerful. Let's unpack that 11-second clip. You heard me right. 11 seconds of what seems to be a distorted video, a jumble of scrambled visuals and unintelligible sounds. But there's more to this chaos than meets the eye. Look again, focusing on the shadows, the flickering lights and the almost inaudible whispers. Now try to make sense of it. What do you see? What do you hear? What story does your mind construct around this seemingly random collection of images and sounds? That's the genius of found footage horror. It thrives on suggestion, leaving much of the horror unspoken, letting our imagination fill in the blanks. And now that we've entered the looking glass, there's no turning back. We're into deep. The first question that springs to mind is this real or is it a clever fabrication? Well, that's the thing. The dark web is like the Wild West of the internet, a place where truth is often stranger than fiction. So who's to say where one ends and the other begins? Is it a carefully crafted hoax or a genuine descent into madness? Perhaps the answer doesn't matter. Maybe the true horror lies in the ambiguity, in the fact that we can't be sure. This video is more than just a horror experience. It's a descent into the unknown. It taps into our primal fears, those things that go bump in the night that we'd rather not investigate. It reminds us of the power of suggestion, how our minds can conjure up horrors far worse than any reality. But this is just the beginning. As we delve deeper into the rabbit hole, the fragments become clearer, more disturbing. What you're about to see are pieces of a larger puzzle, each fragment adding to the enigma, each one a step closer to the heart of the darkness. Here's the second fragment. Again, remember what you're about to see has been described as deeply disturbing. If you need to take another break, now is the time. Consider yourself warned. Here is the second fragment. That was a lot to take in, wasn't it? A blurry figure, strange symbols and whispers that seemed to come from another realm. What did you make of that second fragment? Did it evoke memories of past horrors or perhaps awaken new ones? Our goal here is to disturb you, to challenge your perception of reality, and to make you question the boundaries of sanity. Now we're past the halfway mark. The intensity is rising and so is the body count. No, wait, scratch that. There is no body count. This isn't a slasher flick. This is a journey into the abyss, a psychological thriller played out across the digital wasteland. It's time to meet our guide through this labyrinth of terror, a cybersecurity analyst or a digital forensics expert. Here's their take on what we've seen so far. They speak in hushed tones, their words carefully measured as they attempt to decipher the hidden meanings behind the digital scars. After all, every file, every image and every sound carries with it a digital signature, a breadcrumb that when followed, leads to answers. Or does it? But for now, let's leave the experts to their work and focus on the fragments. Because what you're about to see are not just images and sounds. They're fragments of a soul, a mind, or perhaps a shared nightmare. Here's the third fragment. Once again, consider yourself warned. Here is the third fragment. We hope you found it as unnerving as we did. A distorted figure, a glimpse of what might be a ritualistic sight, and those haunting whispers echoing in the background. This isn't about jump scares or gore. It's about building suspense, about making you feel the dread of anticipation. Now we've reached the point where the silence is deafening. The questions we started with have long been forgotten. Instead, new ones have arisen. What do you think these fragments mean? Have you ever encountered anything like this before? These questions aren't just rhetorical. They're an invitation for you to engage with the horror, to become a part of it. Remember, you're not just watching this, you're experiencing it. Every shudder, every gasp is a response, a reaction to the unfolding narrative. This isn't a passive experience, it's an active one. Let's face it, we all love a good horror story, don't we? It's the ultimate escape, a temporary release from the mundane reality. But what happens when the lines between fiction and reality blur? When the stories we tell ourselves to scare others become the very things that haunt us? That's the brilliance of this lost horror found on the fringes of the dark web. It blurs those lines, forcing us to confront the darkness that resides within us all. But we're not done yet. There are more fragments to unveil, more whispers to decipher, more horrors to confront. This is just the beginning, and believe me, the journey is far from over. Before we continue, let's take a moment to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Yes, this video may not be real, but the emotions it evokes are as real as they come. Fear, dread, and a sense of impending doom. These are all human emotions, universal and timeless. The beauty of a good horror story is that it doesn't need to be real to affect us. It just needs to be believable. We've taken you to the darkest depths of the internet, but what we found wasn't just data or malware. It was something far more sinister, a collective nightmare. We urge you to be cautious, not just in your online adventures, but in life itself. For who knows, what lurks in the shadows of reality may be closer than we think. And remember, sometimes the things we fear most are the ones we create ourselves. As we reach the end of this terrifying journey, we leave you with one final thought. What you've seen today is just the tip of the iceberg. There are countless other lost horrors out there, lurking in the darkest corners of the internet waiting to be found. Are you brave enough to venture into the abyss? Are you daring enough to face the things that go bump in the night? One thing is for sure, once you enter the rabbit hole, there's no coming back. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Who knows, you might just find your next nightmare.